I'm very, very excited to get back to some collegiate Smite action, as are, I'm sure, our two teams in the running right now. We have Bowling Green fighting out from the Order side and on the Chaos, and it is going to be the University of Illinois. And already we're two bands deep with Thoth and Medusa off the board.
I kind of expected the Kazuberto, just because he is fairly strong. Medusa, though, interesting ban. I understand it in some instances, but right now, as a very first ban, I'm not sure how exactly I feel about it.
That's more than likely just taking away comfort, if I had to take a guess. I mean, at this point, there's no clear reason to ban Medusa in this meta, unless you're sure the other team really, really enjoys it. As Thanatos, he's going to get taken off the board. Once upon a time, this was a comfort pick, this was a style pick, this was a stomp pick, but now he's just considered to be a very good pick, as Tyr going to be the last band coming out from the University of Illinois.
Hercules still on the board for that solo lane, one of the most prominent gods that we've seen in the solo lane right now. He's very strong, and I'm surprised that Tyr was the opted ban, to be honest.
Yeah, it's got to be trying to take away what they're good. Yeah, it's got to be taking away what they're good with. If I had to take a guess at what the reasons would be, but as you did say, that does leave Hercules available along with plenty of other fairly strong picks in this meta. But it will be Hercules going to be the selection here for Bowling Green right off the bat. And now things such as Kepri is what I was going to mention, not the Neath, but Neath is what's being looked at for the side of University of Illinois. And I mean, Neath is safe.
Gonna be locked in too.
Yeah, Neath gets locked in. You have that flex potential with Neath. She can go mid. She can go into the dual lane, and she's very, very safe. You don't have to. Well, there goes the flex potential on that one. Is still going to get locked in. Still is a very, very powerful pick. About a very safe mage. This is so far a pretty safe composition coming out from the side of Illinois.
However, on the other side, Poseidon is going to be locked in. Not somebody known for his safety or mobility, somebody known more so for his damage and burst capabilities. And against somebody like Scylla, if you don't have Aegis, if you don't have beads at the ready, you're going to get Kraken and you're going to die. Apollo being hovered here, also very popular. ADC is going to be locked in after his buffs that came with the 4.0 patch is going to be nerfed next patch, though. Sylvanas being hovered by University of Illinois.
Yeah, Sylvanas this is the most meta pick that we've really seen them go for so far, as that will be the selection. This kind of gives Illinois the free reign to start banning out supports as they see fit, which is what I would fully expect them to do, with gods like Kepri still available, as there he goes. Kepri going to get taken off the board. Well, in the meantime, having their solo laner means that, or who is more than likely going to be a solo laner, the Hercules is technically a flex. He can go to the jungle, he can go to the support. Not a lot of people running him in both of those roles, though. He likes his solo lane.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't play him in the solo lane, I feel like you're wasting potential. There's obviously, he has the ability to gank. That driving strike does a lot of damage. It can put people in a bad position, but he's kind of better in that solo lane matchup. Serket is going to be the next ban. They're going to make sure that the healing on Hercules can't be stopped. Serket, fairly decent for doing a lot of damage, shredding protections, getting rid of Hercules' healing, and since she's off the board, Hercules is a lot safer.
Ymir are going to get banned out next, and Serket overall has just been a very popular pick recently. She's kind of risen to prominence thanks to her early pick potential. I mean, those poison stouts just hurt so much when you can build up 3 of them and get off 1 auto attack. You really don't need an ultimate to just burst somebody down instantly with Serket. The final ban is going over their way, and so far they really have taken away the jungle position more than anything else, with 2 assassins being banned out by Bowling Green. So maybe this trend will continue. Maybe they'll start to look somewhere else. I mean, they also don't have their jungler still, so they might elect to hold on to it. No, they are going to ban the Susano, and once again, another very powerful assassin taken off the board.
This jungle spot has been very limited by Bowling Green here. I'm not sure. Both teams still have to get their jungle. Vamana is going to be the hover for the solo lane. I feel like Hercules has the advantage in that matchup, just because if Baby puts himself out of position, Baby takes a lot of damage, and he doesn't have the self-sustain that somebody like Hercules does. So while Vamana is going to be locked in, I do expect Hercules to take that matchup, at least from a character's perspective.
Well, you always expect Hercules to take that matchup, as now the picks are being thrown over towards the way of Bowling Green. They still need their support and still need their jungler, more than likely. Once again, technically that Hercules is a flex, all those jungle bans could mean they're going to try something a little jank, put that Hercules in the jungle, or get really jank, put like that Apollo in the jungle. Bacchus, technically you can put Bacchus in the jungle. That's not going to happen though. Ratatasker, that is almost undoubtedly your jungler right there. He's going to get locked in off that last ban. He did receive Nurse in one of the most recent patch that is active. So Rat will be he'll be a little bit less prominent, but still a pretty solid pick. Bacchus, he's fallen out of favor. No, less wave clear on that character always. That's been his number one problem since really his inception, and now with wave clear being so important. But his damage still as good as ever. Is Neja. Speaking of damage, he's going to be your last pick.
I'm so happy that Naja was the last pick.
Neja and Hercules, Bryce's entire god pools in this game.
They're both in the game. Naja, though, is going to be the jungle for University of Illinois. At least I expect. Solo is definitely an option, but I don't know if anybody else on the side of University of Illinois could really head into that jungle role as effectively or efficiently as Naja. Very strong jungle camp clear with that ring. And gank potential kind of off the charts if you don't have beads. You're in the air, you're out of position, the enemy team's already around you, and you're probably not going to make it out of this.
Yeah, and there is a big training wheels potential here with this Scylla. Scylla Ultimate is known as one of the most game-changing ultimates in Smite, and it's not that difficult to hit when you got a Neja on your team. Sylvanas as well, he's got a good knock-up, and that can set up Scylla pretty well. But he's going to be looking more so to peel for this kind of backline of Scylla and Neith. But once again, these are two characters that are a lot safer than you normally would expect coming out of a Hunter and a Mage combo. But Poseidon, he can burst somebody down in just a moment. I mean, he just needs a half second in order to take somebody completely off the map.
Yeah, overall, I think out of these two teams, I think Bowling Green has the advantage, not just because their picks are more meta, besides that Bacchus. I think that their team has a strong advantage in almost every role besides that Bacchus, and I'm fairly certain that their team comp is going to prove very difficult for University of Illinois to overcome. But with that, we're going to go ahead and cut into a very short break before we get into this Game 1 of Bowling Green versus University of Illinois. So be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game 1 of Bowling Green versus University of Illinois. Once again, I am Bryce LPs, and with me, I have D-Sinks, my co-host. How's it hanging?
It's going pretty good. I'm excited to see this Poseidon versus Scylla matchup. This is Season 0. Yeah, that's 100% what this is. This is a Season 0 mid lane matchup, and even in this season, has been the most popular thing. Neither of these gods really find prominence at the same time. It's actually the jungle for Illinois, for University of Illinois, is lurking around on the right side, while Bacchus for Bowling Green was on the left side. So a bit of a different ring of starts here for both teams, as they're just going to go ahead and clear out this mid lane. And Najah was waiting for the opportunity to sneak up from behind, but quickly realizing that Scylla just doesn't have that early clear power to make that idea work.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot right now. He's taking archer damage. He's already taken over half of his health, and he is forced into the tower. He connected the ring at least. I guess that's one victory. But over on the solo side, the wave was pushed because the only one there to defend for Illinois was Vamana, and now we have 4 people here rotating to steal this blue buff. I doubt that anybody over on Illinois is going to be able to do anything about it, and speed buff is now under contention.
It got picked up by Bowling Green. Hercules once more going to pull and push onto Sal right there, but Sal, fortunately, doing pretty okay. Going to be able to walk away from that one. No follow-up. Mid-Harpies will, however, be taken here by the side of Bowling Green. And so will the Elementals, actually. So Bowling Green able to find off a good start, getting a bunch of neutral objectives as well as enemy ones.
This is what I was talking about with their composition. Early game, they're fairly strong compared to University of Illinois, but right now, all right. I was kind of expecting Najah to head on over, see if he could get some kind of gank action going on, but he is still level 1, has not procced to level 2 yet, and it is almost 2 minutes into the game.
Sunder going to be the relic of choice here for this Najah as well. So looking for that very snowbally start in that mid lane. I mean, I have to imagine that the whole point of that early rank up was just to get a kill, but couldn't do it, was unable to find it. Going on is Nethild there is going to eat a lot of poke coming out from the Bacchus and the Poseidon, as is Genius, and that's going to open up the opportunity for this red buff as well. Bowling Green off to a flying start so far.
He's also been forced to use his Aegis, which means he is a lot less safe. Vesnar is going to get rooted, take a little bit of damage, but now we actually have Scylla being the one that is being chased away by Ratatosker. King Med is going to pick up Genius for almost no effort at all.
Yeah, first blood going to be able to be picked up there by Bowling Green. Illinois just stuck around way longer than they should have there. Thought that they had a line to something, maybe some counter aggression, and unfortunately Sylvanas, doesn't matter what level he is, he cannot move. Being level 2 means he has very little natural armor and health. He was the first victim to fall here for Illinois, and Bowling Green are just going to continue to push their advantage. We're only 3 minutes in the game, but already 2,500 experience, or nigh on 2,500 experience.
And not only that, they have picked up the Oracle Harpies, meaning they do have that vision on the Gold Fury, uncontestable, and there's nothing really happening from University of Illinois. They're kind of like, all right, we'll go around, we'll farm our buffs, or whatever's left of our buffs, and we'll let you guys do what you gotta do. But this isn't going to keep working out, because Bowling Green, while they only have 1 kill, if they continue to snowball with this lead like this, they're just going to start picking off and picking off and picking off.
Oh, speaking of solo kill in the solo lane, duo kill in the mid lane. Tyler Tramp going to be found and filed, while on the solo side, Arcot, I'm not even going to try right now. Vamana, he died. I'm going to read over this name a few more times. Man, being blind is rough.
Arcaticus?
Arcaticus? Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'll roll with Arcaticus. As the Elementals, they're going to be picked up here by Tyler Tramp. He's going to find yet another neutral objective going in favor of Bowling Green.
Meanwhile, we have 3 people jumping on this blue buff. A little bit of contention is going to come out, but you've just been caught out, Salfam. Kraken going to come out. Caxidum, at least I think that's how you say that name, is going to confirm the kill. He just kind of got stunned and then said, hello, here's a Kraken, no Whirlpool needed. Blue buff stolen. Speed buff, I believe, was also stolen by Tyler Tramp. And now a gank into the solo lane is going to be confirmed. Driving Strike has made connection, and Arcaticus is going to fall to Tyler.
The speed buff invade is as another kill gets picked up in the mid lane, but that speed buff invade is showing off really why this Sunder start was so risky for the Najah. Building in that Sunder in the early game, you have to snowball with it, otherwise you can just get Bacchus stunned into Kraken, and there's nothing that Najah could do about it. There is
started up.
Yeah, Goldfrey gonna get started up here. It's a very risky early move coming out here from Bowling Green, and if Illinois was going to take advantage of over-aggression, now would be the time to do it. King Med has rotated on in, but they've done very, very little damage. Genius is going to stroll up, but he just doesn't have a line to it right now and could end up falling here. Trident comes out, over the wall comes to Crush. Tyler Tramp, he's looking for the kill, but he does not have enough room on that through the Cosmos, and walking away safely will be Genius for now. Arctic, however, he might not be so lucky.
A Christic is going to be chased out. It's not Arctic. It's a Christic. Is going to be chased out.
I'm very blind.
All right, you're right. Tyler Tramp going to force him out back into his tower. He's still fairly healthy. That's a Neath he can clear from tower if he so chooses, and he can just heal himself while he's at it. So very safe, as you mentioned. Soul Lane, some aggression is going to be attempted, but Door of Wood, you're still facing Vamana. Even if you're Hercules with a lead, it's going to take a little bit more than some minor baits to get that kill.
Remember last year when we had Poison Oak? He was doing really well in the Soul Lane, and now we have Door of Wood doing pretty good. Something in the trees, man. Something in the trees. And something in Bowling Green right now. Not very deep into this game, but they've already found themselves an absolutely impressive lead. And they're just going to look to close their stranglehold even more. Ja might be the next target here, but it looks as though nobody's realizing it. Instead, they're actually looking for the dual lane of Illinois and Arts, and yeah, you cannot get away from that. He's going to get blown up by one Kraken. Genius, he's running away, gets dunked down on by the Apollo, and the Bach is intoxicate. He's brought down low, and he's brought down to 0. Double kill for Katsutan.
Well, I mean, Bowling Green got a double kill, but University of Illinois got the Oracle Harpies, so who is really winning here?
Worth.
Yeah, completely Worth is going to be for University of Illinois. They get those Oracle Harpies, which means you're not going to be able to walk through that Gold Fury pit, son. Not for now. Soul Lane, this tower is being pressured very hard by Door of Wood. Arcaticus is going to be forced to back. His teleport is not going to be up just yet, which means this tower might just fall. First tower of the game is very close to losing its life.
On the bright side, for the side of University of Illinois, Ninja has now finally hit that level 5 point. A Sunder Ultimate Scylla ult combo will still kill pretty much anybody on the map right now, maybe with the exception of Door of Wood or even the Bacchus. But at this point, they just need to find this combo at least once to try and start getting something back into this game, but they're going to lose their blue buff yet again. Speed buff also getting dropped, and there's just nothing for them to do. This is not what they wanted to have happen. As he gets stunned out and brought down, Tyler Tramp finds himself on a killing spree. Genius, he's running away. The Crush going to be good to slow him down, but the Kraken not going to be needed really. But Katsutan, he's going to use it anyway. Genius, he falls.
Can we talk about how Kaksutam has been getting raw Krakens just like all over the place this game? He's just been like, you know what, I don't even need a Whirlpool. Meanwhile, Gold Fury, half health. We do have Nifalad, who's going to try to contest it, is forced to use his Sentinel to escape. Gold Fury is basically free because nobody else is here. But, there's not really many damage dealers for this Gold Fury. It took quite a while. The ADC of King Med is not going to be there, and this lead is just growing and growing and growing for Bowling Green.
And what's something that's very troubling about that is the Devos Gauntlets picked up for Bowling Green. It's item that's kind of being looked at and reevaluated this season because it takes so long to come online. People are questioning it in an early game meta all about aggression, but when you're finding an advantage this early on as an Apollo, those Devos Gauntlets are going to be much more impactful towards the later stages of the game, and Genius is already feeling the impact of a 5-level lead. King Med just auto-attacking Genius down to 50% HP.
King Med has the highest gold per minute and the highest player damage this game. I did not expect that, to be honest. I thought he was just kind of chilling, kind of pulling off that AFK farming, but he's actually doing fairly well in this dual lane against a Christic. Meanwhile, over in the solo lane, we are going to have a 2v2. Tyler Tramp is going to confirm the kill onto Arcaticus, and now Salfam, you are in the wrong hood as Kaksutum picks up Genius.
Flying around the air is going to be King Med on the Apollo. He wants Nefiled, but instead he's going to circle back around to the red buff and just go ahead and confirm that. A Christic, he steps forward. King Med going to dash forward, looking for what he can. Nice route to keep him alive for a second. Babak is jumping over the wall, going to flop G, intoxicate, and now Vesner, he finds himself with his second kill of the game, and Bowling Green are continuing to march their way through this team.
Nowhere is safe for University of Illinois. They are trying to escape. They're running to their towers, but everybody on the team of Bowling Green just has enough damage to wipe them out. We saw Vesnar jump over the wall, and he was like, oh, missed my belly flop. Gonna have to use my Intoxicate. Confirms the kill, sends the ADC back, and now this tier 1 tower over in the dual lane is going to be the first tower to fall. Surprisingly enough, not the solo lane tower.
No, as hard as the Door of Wood has been working to do to get in order to get this down, credit has to go the way of Articus, as he has been able to hold his own in the solo lane, really only dying to ganks at this point, trying to avoid letting this Hercules get bigger and bigger on his own. Unfortunately, this Ratataster has complete and total free reign of the jungle right now and could just be anywhere, and that is what Arcaticus has to be worried about. Door of Wood, he's gone for an old favorite with this Mystical Mail.
I really dig Mystical Mail, just because you don't even have to use anything to clear the wave. Arcaticus is going to take half of his health, and Door of Wood is going to sit there and say, you know what, keep on taking that damage, pop that pot, it's not going to do anything for you. You're not healing. But I'd like to take notice of the 4-level difference between Vesnar and Genius that has been happening. Vesnar, level 10, Genius, level 6, and the support difference is incredible right now.
Yeah, at this point, if Genius steps up anywhere, he's going to die. Salfam, he is going to find out that same result. He gets dropped by, once again, Tyler Tramp, who's really been rotating around this map extraordinarily effectively. Him, along with Cassidy, have been dictating the pace of this game for Bowling Green so far.
You know, unfortunately, the first relic that was chosen for Salfam was not Aegis, it was not Beads, it was Sunder, and as a Naja, it's almost understandable if you are going to go for that early aggression, you know, try to kill in the mid lane like what did happen, but wasn't too successful. But with those Beads and Aegis gone, there's really not much that he could do whenever the Kraken comes out. The game is paused. It looks like it. I'm not sure if it's going to unpause.
Yeah, I think you and I are seeing the same thing, which is that it keeps saying the game's unpausing and then pausing again. King Med there is going to pause it. It appears as though we have a disconnect, so we're going to be just waiting that out here for a little bit. Disconnect not happening on a great player, as you can see. It is the mid laner, and he's got 3 people right in front of him, and he's at about 1/5 of his HP bar, so...
Well, he was already out of position. He was going for those mid camps, and then all of a sudden, at least I think he was going for those mid camps. That's what it looked like. Unless he just DC'd and kind of chilled in that spot, he is more than likely going to fall here, even after the game unpauses. We can assume that this will be the first kill for University of Illinois, but there's always the chance of something happening. Maybe we get the Blink Belly Flop Intoxicate. Somehow. I don't know what could possibly save Coxer 10 here.
He could live. If you get a 3-man knockup, he drops down the Whirlpool, he could absolutely live.
Yeah, I expect it.
It happens in about a half second where Bacchus is very, very far away. His game going to unpause here.
Oh, no!
He's not going to connect onto the root here. However, Nylad really wants it. He's not going to find it. Intoxicate Whirlpool finds the kill in the file. He's going to drop there. Genius, he has nowhere to run. He's just a big old tree. He can't run away. He is going to get dropped down on top of by Tyler Tramp. And now 2 kills get dropped. And unfortunately for Illinois, they still haven't found their first kill of the game.
Caxutan just walked out. He didn't have anybody save him. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So Christic picks up the first kill. The second kill looks like it might go the way again of Christic, but King Med is going to save. Vesnar is going to pick up the kill. First kill of the game. I feel like it should have been the second. Is going to be on Tyler Tramp, University of Illinois. You know, I'm glad you guys were able to pick that up.
Yeah, indeed. As now actually looking for aggression in the mid lane, Salfam going to sunder and knock Apollo up into the sky, going to drop him with all 3 crits, but it just isn't enough. Even with the sunder play, Salfam horribly getting out-traded. He's going to die there, and King Med going to be able to walk away. A-okay. He's got a Devil's Gauntlets online. He is not worried about any of that in the Jal.
Yeah, he's kind of chilling. He's level 13 as compared to Salfam, who's level 8. 5-level difference. That is too much for you to be trying to Najal. Trust me, I have done it. I have been that far behind. It's not going to work. King Med is going up into the air, though. I assume he is going to be ganking this solo lane, but Caxutam does already get a double kill onto, Genius and Arcaticus. I forgot how to say Arcaticus for a second there.
Yeah, it's confusing. There's a lot of, this and Acristic I keep getting those names confused. Doesn't help that I can't see. It doesn't help with Christic that he has nowhere to run. He is going to be the next fall here. Surrender Vote did get started up for Illinois. The tier 2 tower is being looked at right now by Bowling Green, and there's nothing that anybody from Illinois can do. A nice crush comes out from Scylla, but with only Boots and Pythags online at this stage of the game, she just doesn't do enough damage.
Speed buff again going to be stolen. I don't think that Salfam has gotten a single speed buff, and Portal Demon is going to be started. Door of Wood going to make sure that nobody can go ahead and steal it. Portal Demon going to go the way. Bowling Green confirmed. Fire Giant looking like it is an option soon. Salfam is going to chill there and say, I don't feel like sashing in, because if I do, I am going to die.
Yeah, which I think Southam realizes that after his last escapade with the Apollo. As Portal Demon did get started up, completed, but they're all just waiting on the
They're waiting for somebody to go through.
Illinois really wants for a single person to walk through. Unfortunately for them, Hercules and that ward that's over on the top end is fully aware, and Door of Wood instead is just going to turn this around. A nice immunity comes out. Up into the sky goes Door of Wood. However, he's so tanky that it's just doing almost nothing to him. The healing is coming through here in just a moment. He's running away, trying to get out of here. Going to get hit again. The ultimate from the Valiant will finally get dropped, but it will be a trade even at that. They worked so hard for that, and they still lost the Gold Fury as a result.
Even then, which they're about to lose somebody else. A Christic going to fall very easily. Tyler Tramp picking up the kill. I'd like to mention, Door of Wood was just outplayed by somebody 6 levels under him and then died. I mean, obviously, the rest of the team of University of Illinois was there, but that's a good old outplay. The Sunder came out. Or wait, no, not a Sunder. The Boulder came out, and excuse me,
7 levels between them. As Gideus, there's not enough. There's not enough in the world right now. He is going to fall there, but yeah, 16 minus 9 to 7.
Well, he was level 8 whenever it did happen. So hot.
Oh, well, I wasn't paying that much attention. Once again, we've established this cast. I cannot see. It's a constant struggle in my life. Argadicus, he doesn't have to worry about struggles of life anymore. He's going to find himself in the respawn timer. Southfam, he gets stunned out, spun on, auto down. He is going to get dropped next. A Christic, he is the next to fall. And the ultimate comes out from Poseidon. Fortunately, there was a Sanctuary available from Nefalian. Unfortunately, Door of Wood doesn't really care, nor does the Boulder. Door of Wood able to find the kill, as he's just going to keep on taking up the Phoenix. Ginny's, he's trying to tank up 2 players, and he will be allowed to be successful. Both Vesnar and Tyler backing off, but they don't back off of the Phoenix, and that is going to be your first Phoenix of the game, dropped at 16 minutes.
And there's already minions pouring in. Not fire minions quite yet, but at 16 minutes, because this Phoenix has been taken down, and the levels that are on University of Illinois, they can get soloed by fire minions very, very easily. Fire Giant already half health. Nobody here to contest. Fire Giant is going to go the way of Bowling Green unless a miracle occurs, but Fire Giant has been taken out. Genius is here. He's level 7. He is ramping and ready to go.
Speed buff going to get picked up. Everybody's going to return to base, spend their new gold, and go ahead and buy themselves some shiny new items to go along with their fancy new belt. Crusher gets picked up for Ratatasker, and this is something that I haven't seen a whole lot recently, so just looking at this item, it got changed coming into Season 4, and it's no longer going to be this item that provided the extra attack speed, extra movement speed, and whatnot on towers as you attack them down. It's now going to go ahead and take seconds off of your cooldowns every single time you auto-attack people, which works really, really well with Ratatasker's kit, which is entirely reliant really on him dashing in and burning all of his combo in order to get some auto attacks off. Door of Wood, yeah, Southam, you can't outplay that one. Door of Wood gonna find his revenge kill.
Yeah, Door of Wood was like, alright, you know what, I'm tired of that. Tyler the Tramp is gonna pick up Genius. This is looking really bad for University of Illinois. A Christic is in that Aegis that has just expired. King Med is gonna pick up the kill. A Christic is going to fall, but our Catechist is going to fall to the Intoxicate and not to anything else, which I expected.
Yeah, well, you know, Intoxicate hurts. Seeing just somebody build damaged Bacchus, it's gross. And as Surrender Vote can get started up, go through and down will fall Illinois in this first game. Bowling Green, they're going to hold on to their perfect record.
Yeah, but this does not mean the end of University of Illinois. They still have another chance. This is only game 1, and honestly, there's still a shot at University of Illinois coming back at this. Their picks were not that great compared to Bowling Green's. Their play and their strategy at the beginning of the game was just completely outmaneuvered by Bowling Green, and they took that snowball chance and they lost it. Bowling Green instead was able to grab a snowball and roll it down a hill, and it got massive. Bowling Green takes the first game. So we're going to go ahead and take a short break before we get into game 2. So we will be back in just a minute.
everything around me, oh, it fades away. I can't help but wonder how it got this way. I can't help this feeling that things gotta change. Where's my happy ending? All I've been waiting for. Where's my happy ending? My happy ending. I'm tearing through the walls, they surround me. Letting go of my pain, I will reach the end. Walking on a straight line through the madness. Everything around me, oh, it fades away. I can't help but wonder how it got this way. I can't help this feeling that things gotta change. Where's my happy ending? All I've been waiting for. Where's my happy ending? My happy ending. I'm running away from this pain. I'm trying to find a new way where the sun's shining down on my face. I'm running away. You're in a toxic relationship. Time to be free. trying to find a new way where the sun's shining down on my face. I'm running away. You're in a toxic relationship. Time to be free. You speak the truth, but all I hear are masquerading lies. I'm learning from.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream of #BlameJithens. I am Bryce LPs, and with me here, I have J-Mac Tucker this time, actually, not D-Sinks. We had a technical problem, and J-Mac is going to be the guy who is co-casting with me. How's it going?
I'm going good. I'm excited to see how this second game is going to be. It's University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign on the order side this time around with Bowling Green State on the right-hand side. Last game, Bowling Green State had a commanding victory, to say the least.
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty dominant overall. They struck their stuff, but we are going to see two target bans immediately banned out by University of Illinois. Bacchus, Hercules. We both saw strong showings from both Door of Wood and Besnar. Thanatos and the Kazoo Birdo are going to be banned away on the other side. Meanwhile, Neath is going to be the first pick for University of Illinois on a Christic.
Yeah, I think that's. I think it's more of just a comfort pick going for that Neath. We saw it picked up very early last time, so this is something that they prioritized more than anything else. Where on the other side, we're seeing the run backs here, Poseidon and Apollo locked in, and as you mentioned, the two target bans of Bacchus and Hercules. I just remember seeing in that last game, Bacchus ulted and killed a Vamana in the big baby form, and that's not something that you want to deal with. And Hercules was just kind of that big bully as. We're seeing it on her hover.
This has to be a troll. There's unless that Neath is going to the
Hunter
mid.
Hunter mid is still a viable thing to go. You just need to have some kind of other magical presence there. Like Ymir is going to be here, and I'd imagine maybe a solo lane Guardian as well to help out with this one. You just kind of need that extra magical because if you put too much physical power, too many physical gods in there, you're going to be able to easily tank up their towers and be able to dive them a lot easier.
Ratatosker is going to be the third run back pick for Bowling Green. Wow. And honestly, I guess there wasn't really much that University of Illinois could do. They banned away two of the gods that were on Bowling Green last time, and all of a sudden, the first three picks that Bowling Green goes for are the three picks that were left over from last game. So Vaunus is going to be banned away by University of Illinois. They didn't use it to its fullest extent last game, so they're going to make sure nobody can use it this game.
Yeah, and on the other side, we're going to see the Cirquette banned away, which is not super strong against the Ratatosker, and more than anything, they might be looking to pick up another healer if they're taking that Cirquette off the board, or maybe just looking to target out some really strong junglers at the moment. One thing to note, though, is this is an on-her pick into a Poseidon, which is not going to be the easiest matchup for him. On-her against Apollo is going to do fairly well in lane, but when it comes to those team fights, on-her is going to be really careful when matching up and has to really position themselves well against this Poseidon.
Yeah, I mean, Poseidon's been very prominent recently. People are like, you know what, Whirlpool's actually a pretty good ability. Chalk is actually going to be the last ban for University of Illinois. I'm not sure where that comes from.
Chalk is a very early game dominant god. He's the one god that you go to of, we want to win this solo lane. we just want to win solo lane regardless. He's a very, very dominant lane bully. As we've seen in the past, Puckham, probably the most notable of all the Chalk players. I think we've seen Osop pick it up one time, a couple of times here and there, but Chalk is just that I want to win. We see Geb picked up on the side of Bowling Green, and right now a hover onto Isis, a mage who we're not really seeing a lot of right now.
And for a good reason, Isis against Poseidon, if she gets caught out, she is dead. She doesn't have any way to avoid the Kraken directly. She's going to have Aegis or beads and use that Wing Gust for mobility. Naja is going to be the other pick, and we saw last game, Salfam, he didn't have the strongest showing. He tried to go for an early aggressive pick onto Poseidon. It failed. He took half of his health and lost his entire jungle. So this game, we're going to have to see if he can do something a little bit different to make sure he doesn't fall too far behind and let Bowling Green snowball.
But we need to remember, this is an Isis pickup with Neath and On Her, meaning that this is going to be a solo lane hunter, if anything else. On Her doesn't jungle, Neath doesn't jungle, Naja is going to be likely the one going to this jungle. We're going to be seeing one of these hunters go into the solo lane to match up against whichever it is that Bowling Green decides to pick up here. Right now, that's who they're looking for, is their solo laner. Kabrakan is a very viable option. We've seen him picked up countless times so far amongst the pros and the amateurs, just because of he's no longer the fat Loki. He is, he's just the supportive solo laner now.
Who does a lot of damage. He does do a lot of damage. So he's not necessarily fat Loki. He's kind of like fat nerf to Loki, if anything. Xing Chen is going to be hovered here. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if I would like the Xing Chen pick, but if you're confident enough in it, I mean, feel free to go for it. And, they're just switching back and forth. I always wish people would just click and then lock, insta-lock, just make this so much easier. But while we have the time, I'm going to go quickly mention this thing I've forgot to mention multiple times. We have a 400 gem giveaway that we are going to be doing at the end of the stream, so make sure you stick around for that if you want to have a chance at winning some gems. So make sure you stick around. Xing Chen is going to be the one that is locked in.
I do like this Xing Chen pickup. Maybe not so much against On Her and Neath, but against gods like Ymir, Isis, and Naja, who don't really have any way of getting away from this very mobile Guardian. It's a very strong lockdown. While his ultimate, the washing machine, as everybody also loves to call it, the washing machine is a very slow animation, but when they have no way of getting away from it, it's very strong, especially against somebody like Ymir, who's not going to pick up purification beads. Naja might be picking them up. Isis will probably pick them up. So you're going to be forcing those beads so that somebody like Geb can come through with a Blink Cataclysm, possibly. We've seen Meditation be the more likely startup, so we may see Meditation Blink. I mean, it all just kind of depends on which route Vesnar wants to go on this Geb, but I like the Xing Chen pickup into this team because it's also the auto-attack debuff that he has on that Furious Roar.
I mean, I appreciate all that stuff that you're saying, but, can we just get Washing Machine Kraken? That's all I care about.
No, I mean, washing machine into any of these.
Let's just get some Washing Machine into the cleanup, boys. But with that, we are going to take a very short break until we get into this Game 2 of University of Illinois versus Bowling Green. So we will be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game 2 of University of Illinois versus Bowling Green. I am Bryce L.P.s, and with me here, I have my partner, J-Mac Tucker. So, we are looking at this run back real quick. I just want to make really quick mention that last time, Salfam got picked off a lot because he didn't have beads, and he went Sunder. This time, he opted to not go beads and went Sunder.
I mean... Well, normally the phrase is if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but, it didn't work out last time, especially against this team comp. I would have loved to have seen Purification would have been a lot better for them up. And another thing to note is this is a neat solo. Hold up there, though, fighting into the mid lane, the potential gank, but the stun's going to miss. Tyler Tramp's not going to be able to confirm that one. That's going to be a wash of a gank, but we're having a neat solo this time around with the on her in the dual lane and that Isis in the mid. We were kind of questioning this, and now it's been confirmed for us.
I'm also really happy to see that the first relic that Geb opted to go is Blink and not one of those nerd relics like Meditation or Shell. Who needs those when you can Blink Cataclysm and get some free Krakens up in there? First, mid-camps, left side, going to go to the way of Bowling Green. That Spirit Ball was cutting it close, but Bowling Green is going to secure that as well as some of their own buffs while they're at it.
If Tyler didn't focus that left side one, I think the Isis would have been able to steal that. Good Spirit Ball onto Little Sun is going to force the Purification. One more is going to take it. Nefliad gets the first blood, this time for Illinois.
I was not expecting that. He just said, hello, here's the Spirit Ball, here's my Wing Gust. Tyler Tramp is also going to be taking some damage, walking into those creeps, taking Archer shots, is going to fall. Another kill for the Iliad. Are you kidding me? The unofficial double kill? How are you doing that? What happened last game?
2v1, Nefiliad showing his stuff this time around, and Illinois is here to play. Had a bit of a squabble last time around, but now the game is going, the game is serious. Nefiliad up 2-0 in a 2v1 situation. Now we've got a game.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
How did that happen?
Isis early game. I mean, one thing that we mentioned was we don't see a lot of Isis, and that's because when she gets to the late game.
The gank. Salfam is going in. He's gonna miss the sash. All right, there was a chance. There was a chance. Speed buff is gonna be confirmed though. Tyler Tramp is going to just opt to grab that speed buff, dash away. Salfam, you're in a bad spot, my homie. You're gonna have to go ahead and get on out of there. As we do see some jungle invade attempts coming out from Bowling Green. Red buff has been started, but Illinois is not going to give this up for free. King Med is trying to throw out some damage. Genius is taking it. He's slowed, but the body blocks from Arcaticus are here. He is going to jump over the wall. King Med is going to pick it up, and Nefiliad is going to pick up another solo kill in the mid lane. Are you kidding me?
Nefiliad is on something right now. I don't know what's going on, but he has got a fire brewing in him at the moment. Over at the dual lane, one thing I said of WoW to was that was the fastest Geb shield I have seen on a freeze in my entire life. Now, there was a Purification followed up by a little bit of miscommunication, but that was a fast Geb shield. Yeah,
I agree. One thing I like to take note of, Arcaticus and Acristic did swap roles from last game. Last game, Arcaticus was Vamana in the solo lane. This time, it's going to be Acristic on Neath in the solo lane. He was also Neath last time, but he was in the dual lane. As we do see these Oracle Harpies started up, no real contention coming out just yet, and Bowling Green is going to guarantee that vision onto the Gold Fury.
Yeah, the first major map objective right now. While the Oracle Harpies aren't, the end-all be-all. It's not like getting a Gold Fury or getting the Portal Demon. It's still it's free vision. I mean, who doesn't like free things in Smite? And in this case, free vision. Dual lane. Vesnar gonna be rolling out behind. He's gonna slam Arcaticus against the wall. A great mez, but that's gonna spell the end of that as there was no real follow-up. But here is Tyler Tramp from the sky. Not gonna be able to do too much here. King Med is gonna be able to get the kill onto that one. The Cataclysm's only gonna connect onto Vesnar and Salfam just a little late on the rotation. Not level 5 yet. Not sure what he's gonna be able to do here.
The freeze has come out. Genius throws out the wall. Genius is the one taking damage, taking creeps, but King Med is just barely going to be able to get out. Nefiliad has rotated. The ultimate is going to be used by King Med just to guarantee that Nefiliad doesn't get a snipe Spirit Ball. Genius forced to back, and the aggression has finally been stopped.
Lil Sud wanting to get that rotation there, but was too far back when it was spotted. But his Whirlpool's down now, and he's going to try and stop Sal from taking it. Kraken not going to knock anybody up. That was just a Kraken of like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm going to walk away. Whirlpool onto Salfam, and that would have been a great time for the Kraken, but unfortunately, that's just going to spell the end of that gank.
Yeah, that's That was I was expecting more of a Kraken that was going to connect. Unfortunately, it didn't exactly make its way to the right target. Southam was very close to dying on that, but since he didn't make connection, the purple buff actually wasn't even stolen. I was going to say it was stolen, but no, he didn't. He wasn't able to confirm it with the Kraken there.
No, yeah, so that was taken away by Illinois. They were able to steal that one away from it. It is now faded up. One thing that I think what was going through his head is, oh man, they spotted me. They're going to try and come back here and stop me. And they didn't even collapse on him. They was like, oh, hey, how's it going, Poseidon? You're here. And they just kind of left him instead of what was probably going through the mind, as I said, is they were thinking, oh god, they're going to collapse on me. I got to crack it now. And just ended up not working out for him.
This dual lane tower is going to be pressured by Arcaticus and Genius. They're going to get the wave in there, make sure some gold is lost, but the gank has also been made. Vesnar is going to try to go into that lane, but actually Tyler Tramp is going to be the one aggressed onto here, and immediately the circle is going to confirm that kill. Vesnar running away. Little Sud is going to get the Kraken on the two people. The meditation has come through. The shield is completely broken by Spirit Ball, and the Philiad is on a rampage.
The Philiad on that rampage. King Med's going to be able to pick up Genius, and now it's a 2v1. The Philiad forced to kind of run away. King Med going up into the sky is going to try and probably land on Arctitus here. Is going to get it. Going to be able to confirm that damage as he had nowhere to go. Jump was not there for him. That's going to end up being a 2-for-1 exchange in that, while Southam picks up a kill over in the solo lane, but immediately returned by Tyler Tramp.
And that is going to be in favor of Bowling Green, because before the fall of Door of Wood, Acristic fell first to Door of Wood, and for some reason they were just kind of chilling behind that tier 1 tower, acting like it was nobody's business, and 3 people said, alright, it's time to fight, time to pick up some kills. Right now, buffs are just going to be started. Finally, some nice, peaceful times of less aggression. Oracle Harpies are going to be started up as well by Bowling Green. This game is basically tied up almost evenly.
And considering how the last game went, where, you know, it was a dominant performance by Bowling Green, but right now, Illinois, more than anything, Nephiliad is showing up this game. 5-0 on this mid lane ISIS. A pick that we were very questionable about, because ISIS, yes, very strong early game pressure. Getting into the stage of the late game, the self-peel gods like ISIS, where they have that stun, it's a distance-based stun, they have that self-peel for themselves, they typically don't do as well because they kind of waste their abilities trying to just get away and they don't have them for the fight, so then they just die. But speaking of speed buff, steal out by Tyler Tramp, but now Vesnar might pay for the sins of his jungler.
Yeah, he is going to get ulted by Ymir. The Ice Shards have come out, and Genius is going to pick up that kill. Little Sud is going to go ahead and run away and be like, all right, I threw my Whirlpool. That's all you're getting from me. I don't feel like falling again to Nephiliad, who has 3 levels over Little Sud right now.
Yeah, but on the same end, Arcaticus is 3 levels down to King Med, just not able to farm sufficiently. Now proccing into level 8, but it's going to be a soon level 11 for Bowling Green's Hunter player. Right now, it looks like Illinois are trying to set up a bait here, as Lil Sud is 3 deaths at the moment. They're just trying to force out this Kraken as much as possible, try and force those relics, and try and get him to waste that big team fighting ultimate.
One thing to note is Southam has only died once, even opting to go the Sunder. Has played a little bit safer, not going for this hyper-aggressive plays. And that one time that he did fall was because he was hyper-aggressive and went behind the tier 1 tower in the solo lane. So luckily, even picking up the Sunder, nothing too bad is going to happen. Acristic is going to pick up Door of Wood with some help from the Philiad. And this tier 1 tower in the solo lane is looking like it might be pressured.
That was a great gank by Nephiliad, because he came up on the top side where there was no vision. He came under the fire. He came under the fire elementals, the gremlins there. So there was no rotation from Dorwood. He didn't know it was happening. Great Spirit Ball was able to confirm that Acristic could get the kill with that World Weaver. Acristic going to be able to push out this tower, will be able to get it, and will likely also be able to get away, unless Tyler Tramp goes into the ultimate, which I don't know if he's going to use that just to try and gank this Neath.
It doesn't look like it. They're going to confirm those Ellies, but Acristic is rotating in towards 3 people, and they don't even know it. They're just walking away, and Acristic's like, all right, I got home free. I'm set.
Ooh, I don't know about Nephiliad, though. Gonna get knocked up inside the Whirlpool. A great Sanctuary is gonna keep him alive for the time being, and Circle Protection's not enough. Little Sud picks up that one.
Yeah, finally we are going to shut down this ISIS 5-1, and that is something that needed to be done for Bowling Green back into this game. Meanwhile, the gank into the dual lane is going to occur. Blink Cataclysm onto two people. Not too huge of a follow-up because the shield was used just so they could escape, but King Med is going to pick up the kill on a Genius. It looks like that is going to be it, and the jungle is going to be the decision for Bowling Green. An invade to see what they can get, but nothing's up quite yet, and Gold Fairy is their target.
Yeah, as well as the Oracle Harpies up to be able to get a little bit of extra golden experience for the team. They're going to be starting up this Gold Fury now. There are two members from Illinois. They both have their ultimates online right now, so I don't know if they want to fully commit to this. It is a 4v2, but Nephiliad is on the way as well. They decide maybe not do this Gold Fury. We'll take those Oracles and we'll move on.
Yeah, it's a smart decision because Nephiliad, he's a monster. While his circle of protection is not up, if he gets like an 8-man spirit ball like he's been doing this entire game, he is going to more than likely get a few kills. And if not, his team's probably going to pick it up because they have a Naja, and that ring does work when you're trying to fight the Gold Fury.
One thing to note over here is in the solo lane, Acristic's has been getting the upper hand onto Door of Wood as far as farming has gone. Currently up a level at the moment, getting fairly close to that level 13. Does have access to that second relic. He's going to land a nice spirit arrow. He's going to force out the ultimate from Door of Wood. Ultimate comes out for Acristic as well, and it's just going to be a few more auto attacks to finish this one off. Door of Wood's going to try and just jump away from this one, but Acristic going to get the kill, and the enemy team is falling up behind.
Before this gank happens, I'd like to give a good old solo because Nephiliad just got little Sud as well. Tyler Tramp is going to outdash the ultimate coming out from Southam. He's going to get sashed, or he's going to get attacked, but that shield is going to be just enough, and the aggression has finally stopped. Illinois is sitting here in the jungle waiting to see what kind of picks they can get against Bowling Green. Luckily enough, nobody decided on Bowling Green to move in against those people in the jungle.
That was a great heads-up play by Tyler. Had the Sunder hit him, he got hit by it, and he realized Naja's right here. Naja's probably going to follow with either the Sash or the Ultimate. They elects to go ahead and use that dash safely, and is able to get away from Southam. So that's the Relic now on cooldown, and really just a gank over, wash over in the other side. However, over in the duo lane, a little bit of fighting going on.
Our Catechist is going to be forced to use that ultimate. Geb Shield has come out and is going to take up all of that damage. Our Catechist is almost getting killed by Vesnar alone with auto attack. This knockup is not going to come up in time because the jump is here. Vesnar is going to get frozen. CC is going to be enough, and the creeps are going to help out with that kill. With the rotation coming out from Nephiliad as well, we are going to have King Med back away because he understands he cannot fight against 3 people alone. Over in the solo lane, though, there looks like there is a little bit of aggression coming out. Door of Wood is being targeted right now, but he is going to be left alone just for the moment.
Yeah, another thing to note over in that duo lane fight was the rotation from Necrophiliad was Nephiliad, not Necrophiliad, I don't know what's going on. Nephiliad, I'm sorry about that. Nephiliad rotated very early on and actually started fighting against King Med, forced him to use his purification beads, and then ult away before anything went from that. So he ended up just having to leave Vesnar to die to the 2-man squad over there.
Yeah, I'd like to take a short look at the solo lane because last game we saw Door of Wood just dominating over our Catechist on that Vamana, but right now, playing the Xing Chen, he is not doing nearly as well, being soloed by Aneath, the Xing Chen. He doesn't have the range that he'd like. He doesn't have the wave clear that he'd like, and he just gets completely out-damaged in this instance. So he is not doing too well in the solo lane right now.
No, and I mean that's kind of the fault of playing these Guardians in the solo lane is you can't be as aggressive. I'd say Sobek is really about the only aggressive solo lane Guardian you can go. Because of this, he's kind of just forced to play farm mode because he really can't do anything to Acristic. He can backflip away from that ultimate very easily. So really, Door of Wood is only going to become super big in these upcoming team fights that we'll see later on in this matchup. So that's where we really need to see him start shining, not in this 1v1 match here.
Tyler Tramp chilling in the jungle over on the side of Illinois, but Nephiliad has spotted it out. Genius is also there, but it's a 3v3 right now, 4 with King Med rotating in, and we actually still have our Catechist chilling over in that duo lane, knowing that if anything happens, his team is in a pretty good spot with Nephiliad there.
Yeah, he does have a way of getting into the fight. Blink Cataclysm from Vesnar in the mid lane is going to hit 3. Kraken's going to hit 3, but it's only going to take out 1 to start off the fight. Nephiliad going to turn it. Great Spirit Ball is going to force Tyler Tramp to run away. That's going to be a 1-for-0 exchange in the meantime here in the mid lane. Over in the duo lane, however, it's a little bit of a slap box that's going to force Arcaticus to actually back away.
Arcaticus was not doing too well as Vamana last time over in the solo lane, and again in the duo lane he's not really a match for King Med, who is just completely outplaying him. Arcaticus is getting outboxed right now. He's forced to use the pillar, forced to jump away rather, and King Med is going to completely force him under his tower, take this wave. He's not scared. Nephiliad though picks up a kill, as well as a Christic over on the right side.
Yeah, Illinois is stepping up this game. Last time we saw, they were just getting handled, and this time, they're not only doing a lot better, they're actually winning right now. Looking at the graphs, they're only up 2k gold, but considering they never had a gold lead last time, it's really looking good for them this time around. Experience is pretty much dead even. You can see where the disparities are. It's mostly in the hunter role against them, but flipping the scenes, their mid lane is vastly ahead right now.
Well, I'd like to mention that there was a very short attempt at a gank on Door of Wood.
Oh,
there was actually... Okay, well, Nephiliad's going to pick up a kill in the mid lane. Who would have guessed Nephiliad getting a kill?
That Spirit Ball chunked max range for half of Little Sud's HP. Could not... I guess he just didn't want to waste that Aegis Amulet at the time in case of a later team fight, but... he had a way of getting out if he would have used that Aegis. Instead, I'd like to take the full rotation of the Winged Gust and take another spill. Sitting at 2-5, Nephiliad, 8-1. You forced to use that Purification as a 3-man rotation here to finally pick him up. This is what they need. Shut down this mid laner.
Second time they have done this. Hopefully this time they can capitalize on it more so than they did the previous time that they picked them off, but they're not really doing anything. Vesnar is going to get sashed. Nothing else is really going to come out of it, but Door of Wood is in a bad position. He is going to be going up against Genius. He's used that dash, but Salfam is here. The sash is not going to be used quite yet, and Door of Wood is actually going to make it fairly safely back with, no real attempt at aggression.
3 members of Illinois pushing up, but 3 of them are going to be picked up by the washing machine. This could turn out to be a bad fight for them. Tyler Tramp's made the rotation in, going to pick up 1. Lil Sud's going to pick up Genius, and a Christic forced to run away. 4 strong for Bowling Green, and they brought this game almost entirely back in their favor. Only down about 600 gold now, but the experience lead is in their favor. Christic's going to take a Kraken. Whirlpool's keeping the backflip from going off in the moment, but cannot get away. Tyler picks up that one, and Arcaticus has made the rotation in.
Nephiliad is also here. Tyler Tramp is the target of Desert Fury. It is not going to make enough connection. This tier 1 tower is getting very low. Door of Wood, though, is just barely going to not actually be able to escape. Circle of Protection has confirmed the kill in the backline. King Med has picked up Arcaticus, and Nephiliad is barreling forward, trying to see what he can do. Spirit Ball is not going to make connection. Nephiliad is going to get that Wing Gust, but a nice Aegis Cataclysm under the tower. Nephiliad, you have made a mistake. You're overzealous is going to cost you.
King Med, the unofficial double kill for the Hunter, level 18, the highest in the game right now, and he is on a tear. Net worth sitting 700 ahead of Nephiliad, who is 9-3, but 8-0 is a little bit nicer of a slash line. Gold Fury is available, and they're just going to do this to push the gold in their favor. That'll be 1,500 gold going the way of Bowling Green.
This has been something they've been needing to do, capitalize on the punishes, and they've finally been able to do it after killing Nephiliad twice in a row without too much effort and good counterplay. They're going to be like, all right, we can get a gold here. We can do something. We can actually make sure that the map just doesn't completely get lost.
Yeah, and they're starting to even out the mid lane deficit. What was a 3, almost 4 level lead in favor of Illinois is now going back towards Bowling Green because of that last kill, being able to get a little bit of extra farming for a Lil Sud, get him a little bit further back into this game. Just now finishes up that Book of Thoth, which is going to be a little... he's not going to be able to stack that up, but one thing about Book of Thoth is the stacks are a lot less important than something like Doom Orb or Warlock's S. But speaking of, Nephiliad getting very aggressive.
Meanwhile, King Med is going to solo Arcaticus over in the dual lane. The tier 1 tower is already down, meaning that King Med is going to opt to steal This purple buff, red buff is down, and nobody's rotating over to see what they can do. Nephiliad half health right now, and honestly, if I'm Bowling Green, we look for this gank as we do see the Blink Cataclysm is going to come out. Nephiliad really low. King Med picks up the kill. The stash is going to come out. So is the shield, though, and Southam, you are dead. Double kill for King Med. Genius, you are the next one to go. There is no escape. King Med with the triple kill.
He's in the sky. He's wanting to go for it. Acrylic is up. Quadra kill for the Apollo. Puts Bowling Green with a deicide and the advantage right now. Pushing up that mid lane. Tier 2 tower. This game is now completely in Bowling Green's favor.
They have completely swapped the roles of these teams. They got the tier 2 tower. This Phoenix is looking to be next, but they are going to rotate over to the dual lane to grab the next tier 2 tower. Get rid of as many towers as you can and get ready to break the base because Bowling Green is just rolling through Illinois.
Yeah, bowling. I mean, that's exactly. You're thinking of I'm thinking of a bowling ball right now, and they just got a turkey in that last one. They're going for the perfect. Look, I used to be a bowler, man. Like this, like hearing Bowling Green just makes me think this is a pure bowling college. Right now, they were sitting there. They couldn't even hit a 10 pin that whole time. They're just struggling. Now they're going for that 300 game. They want to try and bring this one back for their second time around. Gold Fury is down for the moment, not able to do anything. Illinois just now making the rotations back in, and we may see another team fight break out here soon.
Illinois is going to have to relax on these team fights. They keep trying to show off their pressure and be like, hey, we're ahead, we can do stuff. But not only are they not ahead now, they have been losing these team fights when they are going up front. They're putting themselves out of position. They're just standing there, not really doing anything, not throwing out any real damage or any effective damage at that. But the one who is really out of place right now is the Geb. Vesnar, he just walked up to that speed buff and was like, oh, sorry, see the entire team. I'm walking away. My bad.
Yeah, threw that ward over the wall just to see what was going on. It was like, oh, that's what's going on. I'm just going to leave right now. Door of Wood, however, being rotated on by a Christic. A few good auto attacks bumping into him. Door of Wood forced to run away. World Weaver looks like he's going to come out. It's going to connect, put him at very critical condition. Wall's going to come up. He doesn't have the double jump. Can't get away. Freeze comes out, and Southam able to pick that one up.
But in the back line, we actually have Nephiliad being jumped on by 3 people as well. And I'd say if there's a more important target, it is Nephiliad. He is the one who has been putting out the damage. He is the one who has been leading his team. Illinois, actually, we are going to have the ultimate come up from Southam, and he is going to pick up Tyler Tramp.
Yeah, and now he's going to be forced to somewhat retreat. Shell has been popped by Illinois. Lil Sun and King Med are on the full retreat right now as Vesnar's just trying to get back together with his team. Illinois maybe trying to get an opening here to either go for this Portal Demon or possibly even the Fire Giant, but with 3 members up from Bowling Green, I think they're just going to safely maybe elect to go for this Portal Demon. No, they're not going to go for either of them right now.
Well, Illinois is just kind of chilling. They're like, all right, we can't let them get anything else. But Southam going off by himself is leaving his team a little bit alone. Portal Demon is started up. Half health is going to be leashed because we're just doing an awkward little dance right now. Portal Demon dance, not even the Fire Giant dance.
I mean, welcome to Season 4, where the Fire Giant dance isn't even a thing that happens anymore. We got Oracle Harpies to fight over, we got the Portal Demon to fight over, and then you have your Gold Fury and Fire Giant. Sitting at about 3rd HP is the Portal Demon right now. We're going to look to see who's going to confirm this one. Bowling Green is going to make sure they hold on to it. Door of Wood going to get off the ultimate, but force a Christic's beads here. Jenny is going to... Oh, wow, that Kraken.
That Kraken was completely calculated, threw it in front of the path. Circle of Protection has been used. Genius is very low, but the ultimate is going to be used onto Tyler Tramp. He is not that low enough to die. Nephiliad is in the back line. He is not in a good position getting CC as 3 members of his team are saying, sorry, bye Nephiliad, we don't want to die too.
Yeah, Nephiliad is getting very overzealous right now and is putting himself in too many bad situations. What was once the 9-3 ISIS now sitting 9-6. It's died 3 times without really doing anything for his team in this last one. Sure, he's leading his team in player damage, but at the moment, Neath is very close to it. King Meg getting very aggressive, almost going to take out Southam there, but lately the Aegis is going to be able to keep him alive, and now the Phoenix is being targeted.
This Phoenix is more than likely going to go down, even with a triple freeze. That was a decent play, but not enough to save your mid lane Phoenix. There's still another Phoenix ready to go if Bowling Green does opt to go for it, but I imagine they're just going to go ahead and back out, strip the jungle, get the Gold Fury, and push their lead even farther.
Yeah, the lead currently sitting right now 8,300 gold in favor of Bowling Green. They were down for the longest time, but now they have a massive lead, 10,000 to make that 11,000 experience, and the gold now jumping up to that 10,000 1,000 mark. Bowling Green has come back.
Well, Nafiliad was the one who is, I'd like to say, carrying this team of Illinois. The rest of their team was doing fairly decently, but honestly, Nafiliad was just going through. He was getting kills. He picked up 2 kills by himself in the mid lane in the very early stages of the game, and once he started to fall off, as ISIS does in the late game, and once he started to get picked off, Bowling Green just said, oh yeah, that's an ISIS. Let's just do this, guys.
Yeah, we just walk up and we kill this ISIS. Or in this case, they walk up to us and we just kill them. Nafiliad's got to be really careful in these team fights. He's putting himself in the worst possible positions as we have a four-man rotation over here from Illinois to try and take this tier 1. But Besar going to blink and hit 4 people with that Cataclysm. Going to get thrown into the map right now, taking too much tower damage. Nafiliad going to fall to that Kraken. That's the first one. Door of Wood picks up Arcaticus. Tyler Tramp picks up one of his own. And King Med's going to come crashing down and confirm the last one. 4 men in, 4 men out. Bowling Green up in that fight.
Surrender vote has been started. It hasn't gone through quite yet, but we do have an odd little thing on the map known as Salfam over at the solo lane blue buff at the enemy team. The Phoenix is being rushed right now. No Fire Giant on Bowling Green, but they have more than enough damage in King Med to take this Phoenix. No defense from Salfam is going to be able to defend this unless he gets a pentakill.
No, and considering he's already thrown that ring bounce and is now being aggressed onto by Door of Wood, he's not going to be able to do anything. In fact, he himself may fall. That Tidal Surge just going to miss. That probably would have cost him his life if that connected there, because look what Lil Sud already has picked up.
Oh, you right.
Brought it to Hootie.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
You're right.
Molasses mentality. You know, I could buy a Chronos pendant, but I've got enough gold for this rod up to Hootie, so I might as well just buy it when I got it.
Hey man, they're getting close to the end of the game. It feels like if you have that gold, you might as well get it. The more damage you do, the better you are. You're Poseidon. What else are you going to do? Kraken? That's it. You're just going to Kraken. This tier 1 tower over in the soul lane is finally going to fall after 26 minutes, and they're looking to expose all 3 Phoenixes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to do. Get that Titan as low as possible right now. Tier 2 tower is now being aggressed on. The freeze is down from Genius, so that's their major team fight. CC currently on cooldown. That'll be up in just a few seconds. It looks like Bowling Green's going to take the safe route back, maybe spend some of that gold they have, as right now, gold in hand for those players. 3,600 for King Med, as he's going to be able to, what looks a full buy a Deathbringer?
I mean, I'm down to full buy Deathbringer any day of the week. Deathbringer is the item. You build that on your mages, you build it on your guardians, you build Deathbringer on everything you got. No, but seriously, I'm excited to see Deathbringer, just because crit builds have kind of been not so much falling out of favor, but with other build options coming out, we haven't seen as much. But what's more exciting than seeing somebody walk up, hit 2 auto attacks, and kill somebody who is just at full health?
Somebody getting Kraken and watching 5 people die in
Right,
one time. Like, oh, that's more exciting. But speaking of excitement, Fire Giant's been started up here, but it was a bait. Blink Cataclysm's only going to connect onto Arcaticus, and a Kraken is going to finish him off. Christic was able to get out of that one. Door of Wood going to throw the support into the back, who's trying his best to either run away or take Tyler, but it was just a bait so Bowling Green could get that Fire Giant. 5 members strong with it, only 4 members to defend, and that Whirlpool is doing some wonder zoning-wise.
Little Subman has been using these so effectively as the Portal Demon is going to be picked up. Genius is the target of King Med. Genius is going to fall, and King Med is still going. He says, hello, Nafiliad, use that Aegis, my son. Salfam is going to be the next target. And Little Sud is going to pick up somebody else, and Nafiliad is going to fall to King Med. That is a deicide, and that is more than likely going to be the game. Bowling Green rolling through Illinois at the end of the second game.
Bowling Green pushing their way into this Titan is very likely going to get this unless Arcaticus can get some kind of crazy mess, but Titan sitting at 25 HP, slowly falling here. King Med just trying to get a little flashy with those kills, but it's not going to matter. Bowling Green, 32-17, 29 minutes.
That beginning of the game looked like it was going to go in Illinois' favor. Nafiliad was just stomping Bowling Green. And then all of a sudden, something turned on, and Bowling Green said, no thank you, no more, and they took off with their lead. It was a really close game at the beginning, I swear, but if you only saw the end of that game, it looked like a stomp in Bowling Green's favor.
I mean, I think Bowling Green answered somewhat 15 or more kills unanswered by Illinois. They were sitting at 17 kills for the longest time. Bowling Green,
I mean,
absolutely dominating.
Speaking of 17,
I mean,
King Med /9.
17-0 on that Apollo with a quadra and a triple to his name. King Med, the hard carry for Bowling Green in that game. As you said,
did he die last game? I don't think he died last game. Did he?
I cannot confirm. I wasn't around for that
I'm going to say that he didn't die last game. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure King Med did not die either game.
Well, we may have just had our I don't want to say probably our only or our first, but for the night, our first perfect game potentially for King Med here at this game. 17-0, 30,000 player damage. As we said, quadra kill and triple kill for him to finish that one off. I mean, Bowling Green.
He went off. Bowling Green, they didn't necessarily get carried, but King Med definitely led the charge whenever it came to this. Now, we are going to go ahead and take a short break before we get into our next set. Make sure that you stick around because we have a 400 gem giveaway at the end of the stream. So stick around for that, and we will see you guys in just a bit.